Felicity from GetYourRockOut, here with a couple of the guys from Canterbury. How are you doing today?
We're very good, thank you. Very well.
Brilliant. And how was the set?
The set was good fun, but I think probably better than expected.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, with a lineup kind of like this, we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some kind of heavier bands, obviously at Sonisphere, and we've got a bit of heavy in us, but we kind of pulled that out today, and
Fantastic.
it went really well.
Brilliant. And did you change the set list from what you'd normally play at a festival? Did you kind of...
We did.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think maybe also just because we wanted to play some different songs, because we've been playing the same songs for ages, so we thought
It was a good excuse to just
and maybe just heavy it up a little bit. We did, I think.
Yeah.
We played our heavier songs. Yeah.
And I mean, crowd reaction-wise, I mean, were you pleased with it? Was it mainly fans that you knew, or was it a whole host of people that you'd not really seen before?
Yeah, it was maybe about 20% probably knew who we were.
Oh, really?
So it's cool seeing, mouth singing along, and the tent was like, it was busy. I don't think the main arena was open yet, so it was we were kind of lucky. But yeah, it's always good to see that many people sticking around for your whole set for a band that they don't know who it is, and isn't necessarily quite heavy enough, but they stayed, so it's fine.
I must admit, Sonisphere is really strange when it comes to lineup. They kind of mix everything in it, more so than most major festivals in the UK that I've seen, and I think it works really well. I think people seem to be very receptive.
There's definite crossovers, obviously, between it all, so it's it's an easy enough bridge to make, which is cool. It's good that we haven't played a huge host of the major festivals like this one, so it's awesome to be on the lineup.
I think we've got 3 of us for our site here this year, 4 of us even, and I think one is more into the lighter end of things, and I know that she was hugely interested in seeing you guys, and I think that kind of you and other bands of your genre, because there are a few of you around, have been a real draw for people, maybe simply because you've not done many of the major festivals, and people are like, oh well, actually it's something a bit different.
Get a chance to see that.
Yeah, I think,
that's cool.
Definitely.
I hope did they catch the set?
Yeah, she did. I have not seen her literally since we got here, but I'm hoping that she enjoyed it. I think it's been one of those busy days so far. We were like, oh, we'll meet up for a coffee, and then it was just like, no, we won't.
Friday of a festival.
Yeah, it's just never going to happen. I might see her on Sunday evening when we go home.
Fleeting.
Yeah, fleeting groups wave to each other as we tap in the ether. Yeah, I mean, you guys, also, you had Dark Days out in January this year, and you did that through a pledge campaign. I mean, how did you find that whole experience?
It was
it's quite a lot of hard work.
I mean, it's hard
really.
work, but it's an enormously rewarding experience. It's, at first, before we did it, we were kind of wary of the fact that we didn't want to look like we were kind of cap in hand, kind of desperate, But at the same time, it was the complete opposite of that. It turned out to be, because the fans are there, and you can offer them come to a show, buy a T-shirt, whatever. That's the regular stuff you can provide. But for a fan to be able to get involved with the creation of an album is actually means so much to some people that they just take a hold so quickly, rather than being they're kind of begging for money or whatever. And it just meant that there was this enormous kind of surge from our fan base before we'd even tracked a note of the album. And obviously like you say, there's a lot to fulfill, there's a lot to do. You've given away lyric sheets all framed up and all this stuff, it's awesome, but it takes time, but worthy time. This is it, being able to provide something really special for people, and those people are now kind of integrated into the album, they kind of helped create it. So,
and would you do it again?
I think I probably would, yeah. I mean,
it makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways, doesn't it? And it is really good, like Luke was saying, the interaction with the fans that you get, and breaking down the barrier and all of those kind of things. So it works. We've kind of proved to ourselves that it works. So
if we need a trusted model, then the fans are there, and which is just amazing to think that in this day and age you can actually use that kind of thing like that. You can create an album out of that, which is awesome.
That's really good. I think it was such a good idea when it came out, and then I think that a lot of people hated the idea because they were like, as you said, it was begging for money, and they're like, oh, well, what are they doing? But I think it's consistently proved time and time again that actually that's not what it is at all, and that people really are getting a decent value for the money that they're paying.
The album's out, a majority of the people it's not like you talk about the pledge campaign, obviously maybe in an interview like now, but you don't really remind people of that anyway. So a lot of people that are new to the band, it's just the album's out and it's there for them to enjoy. So it's kind of, that's really the main thing. It's kind of.
And are you happy with the reaction that you had to it?
Massively, yeah.
The album on a whole, yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's always interesting, obviously, because up until about a week before, you're not really, well, for me anyway, you don't really like considering the fact that other people are finally going to hear this, and like, because it goes from
Have
that.
An opinion.
Yeah, exactly. You start getting terrified like the week before, because up until then it's just been you writing a song in your room or whatever, in the practice room, and there is no foresight to like, oh yeah, they'll like this. It's never like that. It's where does the song go and where does it take itself.
And then
you track it in the studio. It's only you and the producer that's heard it all through its live. Then some close family and friends will hear it and they're all like, oh yeah, great, but it's always, you can't really, you're hopefully expecting that. And then when it sort of comes to release, you're like, wow, this is kind of going out to the whole country now if they want to hear it, and it's a tense moment, but in terms of reviews and stuff, it's pretty easy to kind of smile anything off, but it's all about what the people think about it, and generally it had an absolutely amazing reception. So.
That is really good. So I'm really, really, really glad. And are you thinking about the next record already? Have you got that far ahead, or are you basically thinking actually we want to kind of go off the back of this one?
There's still quite a lot of touring we want to do with this album, because we've only done one headline tour with it, which was a couple of months ago when it was released. So we'd like to go into Europe and tour in Europe, and then come back and do a proper bigger headlining tour in the UK maybe next year or something, possibly.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure. But,
the album's certainly got like more legs in it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're obviously still jamming along the way, but we're not thinking about a project as an album yet. But yeah, we need to ride this one out a bit further, I think.
And have you got anything actually set in stone tour-wise yet, or are you still in talks?
We are going over to Europe at the end of the year, which is really cool. But all the details of it are being just finessed. I'm saying it like to be positive and saying we will go, but it's kind of
Can you tell us whether it's a support or a headline, or can you not reveal that much?
You can say it's a headline.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're certainly hoping
to get a headline tour together for Europe at the end of the year, but it's not booked.
In theory, it's being pulled together. So, and then I mean, in terms of the UK, obviously we've got these festivals kind of coming up through the summer, so that's kind of our live plot for the UK right now, and we kind of will see, obviously, I would say not necessarily new record, but there'll be singles or maybe other stuff coming out.
Maybe an EP.
Maybe an EP, exactly. There's a little teaser.
I like that. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So, brilliant. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you today. I have a feeling that I might have to let you go.
I think
getting to that stage. But I mean, really, thank you so much for taking the time to chat. It has been a pleasure, and I have no doubt that we're going to see you somewhere at some point, probably over the summer.
Awesome.
So,
See you then.
Cheers.